ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. Pro boxer Torino Johnson on top of his game last night at the Fantasy Springs Resort and Casino in California, taking on undefeated Irishman Jason Quigley for his North American Boxing Federation middleweight title. Reno battered his opponent from start to finish, hitting him from pillar to post, and those big-time blows and uppercuts rocked the champion. It was actually in the 6th round that Reno took matters into his own hands, controlling the fight. The blows started to take effect and could be seen on the face of Quigley. When the doctor visited his corner after the 9th round, Quigley was not responding, so his team felt it was best to call it a night. It was Quigley's first loss in 17 professional fights, and with the win, Johnson now back in the top 10 of the World Boxing Council rankings, and he's in line to be considered for a major title fight.
I'm a son, I'm also a husband and a father. And most of all, I'm a Bahamian. That's my nationality. And I come inside this ring with so much on my back. You don't know half of what I've been through. But guess what? Y'all gonna see that struggle behind me now. Thank the Almighty God. Quigley had a victory party, and he didn't even invite me. You know that pissed me off, man. But hey, all is good. Quigley's a dangerous fighter, trust me. I threw the kitchen sink and a car behind me, and the boy just would not quit. Well, no, you did quit. I'm not here to just take punches and to give punches. I'm here to get another strap, the big strap. I'm here to be a world champion. And look here, whoever out there got those belts, and I know them. Ooh, I want a Charlo, I want a Canelo, I want a Danny, I want a Sergey, I want all of them. Every single one out there, I want you. And guess what? Come prepared, because Quigley said I needed 110%. Man, y'all don't worry, 100% I bring it. Just know I coming and I coming to bring it hard.
The Pan Am Under-20 Track and Field Championships getting underway early today in Costa Rica. The men's 100 semifinals going. Rico Moultrie qualifying for the final on time. He was third in his heat, 10.41 seconds. Adrian Curry also third in his heat, 10.53, but did not move on. Dan Vaughn Wims in the field for the semifinals for the men's 110 hurdles. He was fourth in his heat, 14.25, but did not advance. As for the women's 400 semifinals, Denisha Anderson, she made it to the final. She finished her heat second in 52.62. The finals running tonight. Denisha, she will be in lane number 6 in the 400 final. In the men's 100 final, Moultrie running out of lane 7. Also tonight, Wims back out for the final of the men's long jump. On to some tennis news now. Justin Roberts continuing his stellar run at the Cancun Cup in Mexico, taking on third-seeded American Felix Corwin. Justin taking the first set in a tiebreak. Corwin evening the match after getting 2 breaks in the second set. In that third and deciding set, Justin getting 2 breaks of his own to win the match 7-6, 3-6, and 6-2. Up next in the semifinals tomorrow, Justin taking on top-seeded Brit Jack Draper. The Bahamas Basketball Federation holding a press conference this morning to announce the players who will represent the 242 at the Under-17 Boys Central Basketball Tournament next week in Puerto Rico. Our Charles Fisher was there.
Where the team lacks in size, they will make up in heart and speed, according to head coach Quentin 3-Ounce Hall, named to the squad. Tyler Pender, Dayton Albury, Joshua Burris, Isaiah Brennan, Oswald Meadows, Reagan Roberts, Jaden Smith, Malik Joseph, Tanado Ali, Dante Dean, Ramad Dean, and Chester McPhee.
For the first time in a long time, and since I've been doing it, I really am excited about the shooting of this team. I think that's going to be a big difference in how we come forward. So that's a big part, big plus for us right now. Over the years, I've always struggled with guys shooting and meeting teams who go into a zone and just dare us to shoot. But right now, I'm really looking forward for them to dare us.
This is a true Bahamian team.
Unlike any other year, we have a wide range of kids from all over the island. We have a kid from Abaco, a kid from Bimini. We also have a kid that is playing high school ball, 2 kids in Canada, a kid also in Oklahoma. So it wasn't easy, but we're at this stage right now.
Team Bahamas leaves Monday and will be playing out of Group A alongside Puerto Rico, El Salvador, and U.S. Virgin Islands, tipping off first next Wednesday against the host country.
Which is normally the strongest team in our region. We know what they bring to the table, but like I said, our shooting will be a key factor moving forward.
We expect high competition, and we expect to play it plenty hard and come out with a lot of wins.
The top 3 teams from the 8-team field advances to the Under-18 Americas 2020 Championship. Best of luck to Team 242. For ZNS Total Sports, I'm Charles Fisher.
From the WNBA, Jonquel Jones and the 11-6 Connecticut Sun back on court tonight. They will try and exact a bit of revenge on the Atlanta Dream, who beat them last week. The Jeff Rogers basketball camp, their celebrity game taking place last night at the Kendall Isaacs Gym. Our Amajal Knowles was courtside.
Was the place to be last night as it played host to the 32nd annual Jeff Rogers Celebrity Basketball Game that featured some former and current NBA players, including the Miami Heat's James Johnson and the Hornets guard Shelvin Mack, versus the camp's instructors, featuring some of our local pro hoopers. As far as the game itself, it would actually go down to the wire. The away team failing to capitalize on the last-second possession in regulation. The game would, however, go to sudden death overtime, where this dunk by Michael Thompson Jr. would give the celebrity team the 68-66 win.
It didn't feel like a celebrity game, man. These guys in the Bahamas can really ball. It was great competition. It was fun competition, and my hat's off to them, man. I'm humbled that to be a guest here in their country, and we're having a ball, man.
Oh, it's good every year, coming down here, coming the past, 5 years, and this year I was able to spend more time at the camp, working the camp, so I was able to socialize with the kids a little bit more. But every year it's fun, we try to get the win.
Do that every time, man. He's trying to tear the rim down. He didn't have to do that.
I got to represent, man, but we try to get the win in the end. I don't like how they end it, with just one basket win, but it's always fun, man. It's for the kids,
Also in attendance, making his annual trek back home, was former NBA champion and Lakers great Michael Sweetbelts Thompson, who was elated to be back in the 242.
When I come back home and experience all this Bahamian love and pride and seeing all this fun, it makes me feel like a 25-year-old again, man. It makes me feel young. Like I just had me a nice plate of peas and rice and big grouper or something. So it's always a pleasure to come back here and see all these kids and see what a great job Jeff and his staff does to make basketball fun and a good learning experience for these kids.
And for the camp's namesake, he says this year's edition was as good as ever.
Really been an exciting year. This is really one of the best ones. The kids had a blast. As you can see, we had a number of the professional athletes came down. This was really great. God has blessed us again, and we're just looking forward for 2020. Like I said, once the kids are happy and the parents are happy, that's what makes me happy. And so again, I just want to thank all the parents and sponsors, for having a lot of confidence and a lot of faith in this basketball camp.
The camp wrapped up today with its awards and trophy presentations. For ZNS Total Sports, I'm Amajal Knowles.
Michael Thompson Jr. was also at that celebrity game last night. Clay would have been here too, but as you know, he tore his ACL during the NBA Finals.
His rehab is going good. It's going slow. It's going to be a long process, 8 to 9 months. So that's just the way the nature of his injury is. But his surgery was good. It was successful. He had one of the world's best orthopedic surgeons repair his ACL. And as long as he does this rehab and stays committed to it, they say he'll bounce back and he'll recover and be as strong as ever. And I think he will. We're hoping he'll be able to come back sometime in March. And if Clay can come back 100%, which we all expect, the Warriors will be right back in business.
From the minor league baseball diamond last night, Lucius Fox playing in his second game since being promoted to the AAA Durham Bulls. He got his first start, his first hit going 1 for 4, a triple and RBI, 2 runs scored in an 8-5 loss to Toledo. Chavez Young 1 for 5, 2 runs batted as Dunedin lost to Lakeland 10-6. Deshaun Knowles was 2 for 4, hitting his third homer of the season, a 2-run shot in the 4th inning as Orem took down Grand Junction 7-3. Christian Robinson 1 for 4 in Hillsborough's 2-1 loss to Eugene. As for Trent DeVoe, he was 0 for 3, a run scored in the Arizona League. The Angels suffering a 5-4 loss to the Athletics. Well, 7 members of the Mantis water polo team will travel to Orange County to join the North Houston Storm to participate in America's largest club competition. They are Alex Turnquest, Oliver Roberts, Alexander Gomez, Aiden Johnson, Gabrielle Ensenar, Nicholas Wallace-Whitfield, and Gabrielle Sastre. The Storm will be competing in the championship bracket, which is the best 48 water polo teams in the USA. The team is ranked 36th. Their first game is against 13th-seeded SoCal Gold B at 11:10 tomorrow morning. That will be at the Westminster High School. Well, the Grand Bahama Regatta getting underway earlier today. Our Ramiko Knowles joining us live with the latest.
Thanks, Jonathan. The 24th edition of Grand Bahamas Regatta and Homecoming officially getting underway today, and the opening ceremonies will begin at 8 p.m. The sailors took to the sea at 3 p.m. this afternoon, and joining me now is race coordinator Stafford Umbrista to talk a little bit about those races this afternoon. You were here today, you saw the races. How are the skippers doing?
They're doing very well, man. We had some very good weather. Out here, we always have good weather. The guys was very enthused. They love sailing in the Grand Bahama, and the races went well. We did a 2-lap course, and, the best boat won. With regattas right now in Grand Bahama, it should be a little more attended, right? But we're trying to see if we could help build the regatta and build the community at the same time. But today we had some very good sailing, some very good weather, and even the people in Grand Bahama, we'd like for them to come out and watch the races tomorrow.
Good stuff. Now, the races went well. You said you were here. Can you give us the persons that are in first, second, and third?
Yeah, well, today, from start to finish, it was the King and I sailed by Stefano Kemp out of Auckland's, and then second place was Thunderbird, and the third place was Sacrifice. Those are the 3 top boats, and fourth place was Sweet Island Gal, and then we had By Golly.
Good stuff. So the races will continue tomorrow. Can you tell us what time it will start?
Well, we are going to start tomorrow in the afternoon, like 2 o'clock, because we have the children's race tomorrow morning. We'll be sailing them from like 8:30, and we'll be doing 3 of them. And once we get through the children's races, then we'll go on to the C-class race.
Okay, and the awards presentation will take place what time?
The award presentation is going to be tomorrow evening, about 7:30, 8 o'clock there, but I'm not too sure of the time. But I think it's between 7:30 and 8 o'clock.
All right, good stuff. There you have it. The 24th edition of the annual regatta and homecoming. The opening ceremony will begin at 8 p.m. and the minister responsible for regatta, the Honorable Michael Pintard, will be on hand speaking. I'm sending it back to you, Jonathan. Actually, the minister is actually here. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. This is the 24th edition. I know that you are here and you were excited to see the races and the sailors take place this evening.
Yeah, very much so. Well, first of all, to the Bahamas, welcome to Grand Bahama. We're excited to have regatta here in Grand Bahama. We believe it's going to grow over the course of the next few years. We're encouraging each community to develop a boat, go to the corporate citizens, and we're asking you to invest in your community by investing in a vessel that your neighbors can be pulling for. And so Marco City has that challenge, Central, East Grand Bahama, West Grand Bahama, Pine Ridge, to bring together a group of corporate citizens along with residents to produce a boat that can actively compete.
All right. I remember you speaking last year about this becoming the national sport. Can you speak a little bit to where we are with that progress?
Well, the cabinet is united in that regard, and it is not unique to this cabinet. That's been a commitment of successive cabinets over the years. But certainly it is important to have a discussion with all of the sporting federations out of respect for them. And so we are in the midst of that process where we'll have a discussion with them. We fully expect that during the course of this year that we would have completed that process so that we're able by the end of the year to make an announcement. And so I'm certainly committed to doing that. I've been given that mandate by the Prime Minister, and we believe that the country is ready for it.
All right, good stuff. Now, do you have a horse in the race?
No, I have no horse in the race. I'm pulling for all of them. And I want to send a shout out to the residents of Smiths Point. This is an incredibly proud, productive community that's made an invaluable contribution to the development of Grand Bahama. And the Deputy Prime Minister who represents his constituency is constantly bragging about this unique feature in Grand Bahama. Smiths Point, and of course, there's Williamstown. There's so many historical dimensions of this island, but this is certainly one of them. And so we encourage residents, come out tonight, but more importantly, you be here all day tomorrow for what would be exciting races.
All right, thank you so much, sir. That was the minister responsible for Regatta in Grand Bahama, the Honorable Michael Pintard. Sending it back to you, Jonathan.
Thanks, Laura Miko. So there you have it. One more day of sailing left, and it should be a fight to the finish. That will do it for sports. The Bahamas Tonight comes back after the break.